Welcome to Womb Oracle Weavers, our 6th episode. I'm Deanna Cluth, and I welcome you into this full moon on this beautiful September, these energies that have been brewing and accumulating and colliding and birthing. I want to begin by inviting you to take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, settle the mind, all that came before this moment, feeling the weight of gravity. And with every breath, allowing this gravity to descend into your heart, down through the channel of your heart into your womb. This cradle of primordial potential, and feeling the weight of gravity and all that flows and descends down from spirit. The fire of your soul dancing, cascading down the liquid gold from the cosmic heavens, the womb of the Great Mother. This nourishing milk and the light of the full moon descending down through your being, filling your cup to overflowing. This bowl, this sacred chalice, this fountain of life spilling over, watering your roots as they descend into the earth to merge with all the ancestors, the plants, the tree roots and mycelial networks, the crystal beings, and the lava flows at the center of the earth, the core magma, uniting with the fire within you. This feminine, sacred fire. Feel it rise back up into you and feel your fire, the light of you expand, lighting up all your senses of perception as we begin and open the space to share oracular messages on this new full moon. And so we begin. As I tune in, I feel the energy of life around me, all the business of daily life. Here it is morning, very early in the morning, and already I hear in the distance the hum of lawnmowers on a Saturday morning, people rising with the fire of their energy to seize the day. And I am made aware of this polarity of the difference between sleepwalking through the day and seizing, those moments that can be had ritually with presence, on the other hand. So with the light of your fire ignited, the fire in your eyes present, able to meet the day, greet the morning sun in the east, and acknowledge all the directions, and yourself in the center. And that is what I'm feeling, this not only the fire of that, but the surging wave of this tidal wave of awakening rising up within us, calling us to remain present, to move through anything that, right, there are reasons we choose not to be present. There are pains that we choose not to want to feel, and we push them down. So this is a rising movement, feeling to cleanse and purify and release, to feel, to acknowledge not only the pain we've felt, not only the pain that we have caused, but those of the generations that perpetuate this sleepwalking style of ritual abuse, trauma. And we are here, those of us here manifest, embodying divinity in this moment, are rising like the sacred flames, to be Magdalens, to embody the fire of Sekhmet that clears and obliterates the abuse of power and heals, this balm of love that unites these polarities, that unites this rift, this separation of that deep consciousness that allows us to be so present with one another, to love one another, to extend and share our heart and our life with one another, and to be present for ourselves, to love ourselves deeply. All those parts are being called to be resurrected and embraced in the light of this sacred union, this dance of fire and water. So I close with that as a prayer, as a promise, so full of hope, holding this dream, this vision, grateful for the abundance of this full moon that sheds light in the dark spaces, this loving liquid light that nourishes, this milk, this cosmic milk that nourishes us from the breast of the Divine Mother, nourishes our souls as we stand rooted and firm and plant ourselves on this earth, feeling and calling for the greening and the rewilding of this beautiful planet, this plane we live on, we exist on. We exist within, connected to the all and the whole, reunited with all of it and each other. Thank you. I pass the baton. I'll go around the circle and invite Debs to share her oracle next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. I felt your words there, just like a balm of a transmission, really healing. So thank you for that. I'm really feeling into the change, the shift. This full moon is bringing the harvest moon in the Northern Hemisphere, and particularly here where I live, really feeling it as I walk on the moor. We're always a bit ahead. It's always cooler. So seeing the bracken go from green to brown, that shift into autumn. And this week I've been really reflecting on the resistance that we can feel around moving away from the yang and the busyness and the summer and the solar and the connection and the community into the more sort of reflection that autumn brings, and that autumn stage of womanhood and that autumn stage of the menstrual cycle, around reflecting and being clear with our boundaries and just coming more into our sovereignty and the yin part of the cycle. And this week I've also really been reflecting on the sort of the duality. I've got two children, and one is Virgo, very Virgo, and one is Pisces. So we're in Virgo season, and that's all about, you know, just that sort of quite meticulous it can be, but planning and sorting and clearing and cleaning. And I really felt a wave of that energy. And then with this full moon, I felt my daughter, and I'm not going to stereotype Pisces, but she's really messy, and she's very arty and creative and just watery and goes with the flow. And I feel like this full moon is for me has been a potential of, you know, a window to be able to shine the light on the mess and the lack of alignment or incongruity in my working life and maybe in my mothering, to be able to clean up there, to get that in order. And one of them, I did a little share on Instagram about it, but it was just realizing that I'd been shaming my son, not consciously, but he'd been making these moves toward manhood, you know, with wanting to dry shave. And I was repulsed by this prickle from this beautiful soft skin that he normally has. And he wanted this particular deodorant, which is full of chemicals. And I was like, no way. And it stinks. And, you know, just realizing that I had to really reorder that alignment and go back and apologize and sort of just get back in integrity with who I am as a mother, and embracing that the masculine, you know, I'm so focused on the feminine. So just to really embrace him and his movement towards manhood through puberty. So it's felt like a big and with that, you know, with him making his own choices and wanting to shave, you know, embracing the change. And I feel that that's what this portal, as we lead up to the equinox, is about. It's about allowing us to recalibrate and allow for change. So for me, it was going to this beautiful 3 million year old, you know, rock formation that's ice age, that's volcanic, and just sitting and feeling into the perspective of this ancient, you know, rock and the cycles that this rock has witnessed and withstood, and being with the grief that I feel that can come up around change, and letting go. And then, as Diana was, you know, bringing in the sparkling new light and the possibilities, and remembering that change is inevitable, and the autumn leaves, they're going to drop from the trees, but it doesn't mean that the tree is sick. It's just the cycle of making room for the new. So I've just been, sitting with all of these and actually feeling this is a really gorgeous time to reinvent ourselves, you know, with this full moon shining a light on the darkness. And particularly in the UK, I'm here in Devon now, and earlier in the week I was feeling this rumbling, but it's the crumbling of that sort of very old system. You know, we have Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has just passed, and whatever people's feelings are towards that, it feels significant. So just being with the change and not resisting the change, and allowing the moon energies to remind us that we are cyclical beings, and sometimes it's hard. We don't want to shine a light on the stuff we don't want to see. We don't want to feel the feelings, but it's so gorgeous when we can come through to the other side and open up and expand and feel that that transition, and honor that for our children and our communities and our collective webs that we are spinning. So much love, and thank you. Beautiful to be here as always. Handing over to Nicole.
Wow, so nice to drink from your medicine and transmission. And I can relate, of course, with both of your sharings, as I've been witnessing this merge of paradoxes, like this merge of fire and water and polarities, coming into union as the old crumbles. And I've been reminded in the last, since the last full moon, I've been really feeling and continuing to connect with the ancestors here of this land, and continuing to reflect on my journey and this epic journey that we are co-creating and co-birthing together, and just feeling the alchemy of literally this collapsing and then rising, resurrecting of ancient, harmonious, cooperative ways, this fusion of fire and water, of opposites, and how that will bring into birth a third, the merge of the opposites always births something unique. So I've been sitting with personal things that are very, very expensive and very beautiful, but also things that are grieving and sorrows, and being able to choose that the dissolving or any change, like you were saying, Debs, any changes that comes into our life, as the trees let die the life that was born in that summer season, everything is constantly dissolving and being born again. And this particular full moon, to me, prior to the full moon, I felt really intense energies from the sun. I also felt the shift of the season, and it did get a bit colder here. So I felt this shift from the young energies of August to a more deep earth energies of September. And with this feeling of this new energies, I was reminded also about change and how nothing's constant. Soon I will be moving out from this place where I spent the summer and had this very mystical and magical experience, and other things will unfold. And as we build up for the equinox, I feel that we are collectively like in the void of this vortex. And this equinox, it's so important, as I feel this energy of Ma'at and the importance of us individually coming into this inner cosmic harmony, or this harmony within ourselves, and how does that actually affect the collective, as we are able to sit and stay and sometimes merge with the opposites, with the polarities, with the paradox. And then I'm also reminded about how that was how new things or new worlds were born in ancient times, by literally this gestation of witnessing all that is this incarnation, all that there is this physical human journey. So I feel like things are going to get more stirred up in the collective as more things begin to crumble, and this is really part of the process. And if we can stay despite of whatever triggered us, but if we can always come back to this union of our heart and womb, or hara, this unit, this coherent harmony between our mind, our heart, and our pelvis, our womb, we then will see so many amazing things simultaneously rising and resurrecting as things crumble. So I can be more excited, and I can be more grateful for the times we're living. And and I've been really tuning in with that about this feminine currency. I've been feeling in as we approach the 9/9 portal yesterday. I was just really feeling into this completion of the cycle, of course, the full moon, the heading to the equinox, and how we are literally also shifting the world as women by returning to our feminine waters, our feminine nature, feral nature. Pharaoh as untamed, undomesticated, unslaved by a system that has been purposely created to enslave and use our life force, use our birthing ability. So I feel like this mermaid dragon codes, which actually, you know, what Diana was sharing, this fire and water and this like dance of how sometimes we have to bring that more fiery energy that it's like, no, that's a no, you know, and that Sekhmet rage, but how we can also dance into, you know, into the fluidity of water, the fluidity of the movement of changes, and how if we hold into, if we resist, it will just persist. But if we surrender, we will flow with this fountain of life that it's blessing us with plasma, like solar plasma, galactic codes, and as well as the earth herself, Gaia herself. It's also blessing us with so much fertility, with so much wisdom. And as I said before, the ancestors are walking with us. And every moment that I stop and I connect, I'm reminded of their embrace, their strength, their guidance throughout this epic times of changing of cycles. So with that being said, I will pass the mic to my beloved sister, Karina. And I send waves of golden, radiant waters directly here from the volcanic island of the Amazonian matriarch women. Thank you.
So thank you, Nicole. I welcome all your beautiful medicine that you have woven. I can resonate with everything you have all said. I'm so grateful. It feels so beautiful to sit here and connect. I love what you say, the depths and about we are cyclic beings, and that's where my thread picks in. I love that. It's something that for me is very important to remember ourselves as cyclic beings and consciously aligning with the greater cosmic flow of the cycles. So the cycles of the earth, the cycles of the moon, the cycles of the sun. That's for me something very precious. And so in this moon quarter of the full moon, and like he talked about, I'll not go into details about it. My sisters have talked already about it. But I love, it's Diana who was talking about this beautiful milk, cosmic milk. I like also to bring in this wisdom of what is being illuminated by this full moon, what is coming to light, what is being exposed, what is coming to closure in the fullness. Some threads to look into our lives, something to explore. And as we tune into the earth cycles, I would like to honor the medicine of our ancestors who celebrated Mabon Sabbath, which is coming up soon, just before the equinox tour. So in my life, I'm looking into, so from the seeds that we planted in spring, it's like the second harvest. It was the second harvest for our ancestors, Mabon. So from what we harvested, what can we see as fruits have come from our projects, from our seeds? So tuning into that, I would like to just to share with you a beautiful gift. It's a jackfruit, a big jackfruit. My friend, she passed yesterday and she brought me this beautiful gift, a beautiful fruit she picked from her tree. beautiful jackfruit. It smells delicious. I love jackfruit. And so connecting to this abundance of the earth, for our ancestors, it used to be the last harvest because the winter is coming in, the autumn. We are going to start inside, as you already mentioned today. So what are the fruits that we have harvested? What has been our harvest? And in this time, harvest to save for the next season, what they would plant in spring. So like I've been watching myself reflecting in this moment. So what projects are going to be coming for the next year? What seeds do I want to save to give water? So that's the thread. And the sun cycle that's been going down, and in equinox it will be the equality of the long days and the night. So that cycle, like you already talked about again, the yangness and the yin, the energies, how we can bring that into balance and witness how we can align it with the greater cosmic flow. So my medicine was that listening consciously and feeling. So what are my inner cycles? What is happening? How am I aligned with the greater cosmic cycles in my life? And flowing with that forward. So that was my little contribution for today. And I send you, we don't get winter, but still in the inner self, I like to honor that going within, the introspection, the sun, the abundance is still there, but consciously I'm tuning into the energy of the earth, what is happening in this part of where I am rooting. Okay, so lots of love. I will pass the baton to Diana, who opened the circle, to close the circle. And until our next full moon, goodbye.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Nicole and Debs. Oh my, I love all that medicine, just soaking up all that radiant energy. And the amber dance really just sparked a fire in me. I love that two words together and all that encompasses. So how beautiful for me personally to just close on this idea of letting go of whatever is ready to die and decay, and dancing as this leaf spirals down to the earth in the sun and wind and rain, and oh, it's so beautiful. And so we close. I invite us to just gather the abundance of all of this into our hearts, and like a tree, just sending that sweet sap down to our roots to just nourish us for this coming cycle. Until we meet again. Have a blessed month. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, sisters.
Waving and sound.